So Helen, nice to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
So since I last saw you, we have been able to get some more information about the cancers in your family.
Great, yeah.
Which has helped us make an assessment for you.
Yeah.
And we can be quite reassuring about your risk, but I'd like to go through the details with you first, if that's all right.
Okay, yeah.
So your mum signed a consent form, so we've got some more information about her breast cancer.
Yeah.
And we also got some information about your aunt.
Okay.
And you're quite right, she did have an operation on one of her breasts in her 60s.
Yeah.
But what she actually had was a condition that isn't a breast cancer, but it's something called ductal carcinoma in situ, or DCIS, that can sometimes go on and become a breast cancer, but often doesn't.
Okay.
And in the cancer registries, we were able to find that she had a lung cancer, and that is what she died.
So the main cancer was a lung cancer?
Her main cancer was a lung cancer.
Okay, so I didn't know that. Okay. She was a heavy smoker, so...
She was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is very linked
Okay.
to development.
So the it's a pre-cancer breast thing, that's not significant then?
It makes it much less significant in the family history, so it lowers your risk.
Okay.
And then we also got some information about your grandmother's gynecological cancer.
Her ovarian, yeah. Yeah.
So it was gynecological,
Yeah.
but we found that it was actually a cervical cancer.
Okay, that's the same thing though, isn't it? It's all the same area.
It's in a similar area, but it's at the beginning of the womb, which is below the ovaries, and not the same tissue.
Oh, okay, so it needs to be in the same... Right, okay.
So it's a different type of cancer and is not connected with the hereditary types of breast cancer, which is very good news from your risk.
So they're all independent. They're not linked.
They're not linked.
It's not a gene.
It's very unlikely that there'd be a gene in your family. A lot of cancer, and it's several different conditions, is not linked to a hereditary cause. So most cancer isn't inherited.
So you're saying to me these cancers in the family are just by accident, and that I'm not at an increased risk of getting cancer?
It's much more likely that these cancers are not linked.
So I find that really hard to believe, I must admit.
So I know it will take time to adapt to that change in your risk, but this information really is very reassuring.
So it's actually good news?
It's good news. It's good news.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you been worried about your breasts at all?
No, not especially, but I just felt it would be, it's just waiting to get cancer. So what you're saying is I don't really have an increased risk of cancer, which is, I'm still getting palpitations, so I'm still feeling very anxious, but then of course I'm still dealing with my mum and things. So
you mentioned before that you were under quite a lot of
stress. I know. And since I last saw you, I did go and see my GP, and he was quite interested in my dad, and I don't like talking about my dad, but he wondered whether there's a connection between my dad having a heart attack and me having palpitations, and I think that's completely ridiculous because I'm nothing like my dad. But he also asked me if I'd had any fainting or anything like that, and I actually have. So I fainted in the shower a few weeks ago, and that has happened before, and he was quite concerned about that. I hadn't made any connection between that and palpitations, but anyway. So he's referred me to cardiology, so so we'll find out whether there's something heart-related going on.
So have you got an appointment with cardiology
that's
already arranged?
It's coming up, yeah.
Good. And do you feel that that's a good thing?
Well, I'm very practical. I want to get things sorted. I want to know what that means, really. And if I've got some sorts of symptoms, what those mean.
Okay, good. I'm glad that you've been and done that.
Yeah.
And in terms of you coping with everything that's going on at the moment, do you feel that you've got enough support?
Well, I've got my mum.
Mm-hmm. And how's she doing?
She's not doing very well. She's going downhill. She's talking about palliative care now, thinking about hospice. So she's not very good.
Does she know that you've come to talk
Yeah,
about
she
the breast
knows.
cancer
She
risk?
knows. Yeah, so she'll be really surprised to think
Mm-hmm.
that there's no genetic thing that you can test me for. She'll be really surprised.
Do you think she'll be reassured that
Yeah.
you don't think you're at increased
She'll be
risk?
reassured. I'm not quite sure if I believe that yet, but I think she'll be reassured. I'll be pleased to tell her.
Would it be helpful if I put some of that information down in writing?
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
So that you've got that for your records. And any questions you have about it, obviously you can come back to us.